I love this man. He's the Pro Football Hall of Famer, the man who coined the phrase football heaven when he went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a first ballot man in every way, shape, or form. On the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line here on the Rich Eisen Show is Marshall Faulk. How are you, 2-8? What's up?
I'm good, Rich. How's it going?
I'm better for talking to you. What struck your fancy in week one? Because you always watch the game in a way that I normally don't see it as. I mean, all right. Let's start with this one. I'll be more specific to you. What do you think happened with Green Bay against the Saints?
So two things. I was wondering if everything was okay in Green Bay as far as like, were the guys really behind Aaron Rodgers? So when the guy decide, hey, I don't want to be here, and then you decide you're coming back, it kind of throws the team off a little bit, Rich. And I feel like that has something to do with it. It's going to take a minute for them to kind of get all hands on deck. But all the film that they watched, everything that they watched of the Saints, it had been so much dinking and dunking the last couple of years. And Jameis Winston actually showed them what the long ball looked like. Mm. And it was like, wow, Sean Payton, this is his offense. He don't have to pick you apart. He can throw the ball over the top of you, and that it surprised Green Bay. Now, it looks like the last time we saw Green Bay, because Tampa did the same thing to him. If you think about it, same thing, took him deep. And, man, Green Bay got some problems. Aaron Rodgers said, don't worry about it. The coach said it's a problem. Let's see where it goes, Rich.
So let's unpack that a little bit one at a time here. So let's take the last one first, because I know you're a Sean Payton whisperer. You always have been. You go way, way back to what? San Diego State, right? You and Sean Payton?
Yeah.
Back to the day?
Mm-hmm.
So,
he's my coach.
Okay. Rick, so what do you think he's going to do with Jameis? Did we get a little look-see? Obviously can't guard Mike. He's now got COVID. He'll be back some point off the pup. What do you think this looks like when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I think Jameis put the league on high alert, and it's amazing when you get a quarterback with a guy who can give him the answers. Like he has the answers to what's going on, and that's what it looked like. And we saw kind of bits and pieces of it last year, but man, I didn't think he would come out like this and have this opportunity. This is, and I don't know, maybe Breeze was a little banged up. We didn't see a lot of the deep ball, but man, to see the deep ball in that offense, it struck. I think the league's on high alert. Like, oh my God, did you guys see that? Because I saw it.
And then when you said the locker room, when somebody says, I don't want to be there, but now I'm here. I mean, do you think there were guys in the Packer locker room that took it personally and didn't understand that it was 12's problem was with the front office and not them? You think that?
No. It's not who the problem's with, Rich. It's just like, hey, if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. Like it's just that you don't want to be here, and when that's it. Like you're not pointing a finger at anybody. The one thing that we want to know is in this game, that everybody that's playing here, they want to be here. That's what we want to know. I mean, we got to band together, the team that's close together, win together. We talk all that team camaraderie stuff. But if someone's saying that they don't want to be there, and that someone just happened to be your quarterback, albeit business, you stay out of it, you don't count another man's money. He doesn't want to be there.
But he said he didn't want to be there because the front office made a maneuver to say, your time is definitely running up here. And his response was, then get me the hell out of here if you're not going to put me on the TB12 plan till I'm done, and show you I physically can't do it anymore. This
always happens, Rich. Rich, this is how it always happened, okay? You put person versus entity, and the person is going to always be wrong. Nobody in Green Bay came out and said to Aaron Rodgers, we don't want you, you got to go. Did you hear it? Because I didn't hear it.
No, but they did make that maneuver to make it seem like, you're going to go sooner rather than later,
What maneuver was it?
getting Jordan Love and starting the clock and knowing that you got to.
Oh, my bad. Oh, that's right, Rich. We can't put a competition at quarterback. We can draft running backs, and we can draft wide receivers, and we can draft defensive linemen, but hell, don't put competition at the quarterback position. Oh, my God. But let's give them $40 million and just go out and play, but don't compete. That's what you're saying?
It's been a while, Chris Brockman, since I strolled into a 28 trap. It's been
a
long time.
You walked right into it. There was a pulling guard. I think the tackle came.
It's a different breed. You know that. But it's not. That's your guy, man, though. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, they draft him. They draft him after they said, we're all wondering, can he change his spots with his new coach? And then they go 13-3, and they were amazing. And then they draft a kid? Come on, though, Marshall. No,
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you, but here's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers, you were drafted late in the first round behind Brett Favre. And guess what Favre did? Continued to play. So now this doesn't fit you?
And so you think part of week one had something to do with it? There's some residue.
I think the continuity of the teams, the togetherness. Listen, we're all professionals. Some teams are better than most, but we're all professionals. And when you get at a high level where you got a Green Bay and a Saints playing early, everybody got to be together. And that didn't look like a together. That didn't look like a team that was together.
Marshall Faulk here on the Rich Eisen Show, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Let's talk about the Rams, Bud. Boy, was that first game for Stafford exactly what the hype was all about. Is that what we're going to see, you think, over the next 17 weeks?
I hope so, man. Listen, Rich, and listen, I'm gonna go. I'm on record. I want people to know.
Yes.
I was not. I looked at Stafford. I'm like, okay, is it Detroit or is it Stafford? I don't know. But Sean McVay is another one of those guys that he put a Wolf. He won a game against Seattle with Wolford. I mean, the dude can call some plays. He can dial it up. And what they did, oh man, that was beautiful. That was masterful. I sent McVay a text. I said, look, man, that was fun. Like when you watch an offensive football game, that game looked fun. And the Rams had all the answers to what the Bears were doing out there defensively. And the Bears ain't no slouch on defense.
I know. So
no slouch on defense.
So that's indicative of what we're going to see, you think? There's no cheese right there that we're going to actually see the Rams play like that.
No cheese. They have to listen. They have to dedicate a little bit more time to the run game because you can't run play action and not run the ball. I'm still trying to figure out why the linebackers and the safeties were biting up when the Rams couldn't run the ball. It's just like I don't understand it. But at some point in time, you have to run the football better. I'm sure they know that. And when that dynamic is added in, this team they're going to be tough, man.
So
defensively,
yes.
They lost some guys, but you couldn't tell they lost some guys.
So who's the best team in the NFC West, Marshall Faulk? What do you think?
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I mean, right now, it's I can't really pick it. Like I want to say the Rams, but Seattle looks good. Arizona looked good. Even the 49ers with the musical quarterbacks, they look good. It's hard to say, Rich. I'm not going to put it out there. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go homer. I'm gonna go homer with the Rams.
Okay,
that's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
And nobody can say anything to me about it. I'm gonna say the Rams. That's what I'm gonna say because they were expected to. And you know what they had to do? They had to hold serve. The other three teams in the West won, and Sunday night they had to go out there against the Bears and hold serve, and they did.
Marshall Faulk, Pro Football Hall of Famer here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think is going on with Matt Nagy and his decision-making with Fields? And is it a film room thing we're not talking about? Is he seeing a line? Why wouldn't he just throw this kid in the deep end of the pool? Again, you had a front row seat of Peyton Manning being thrown in the deep end of the pool and knowing how somebody can take lumps and get better and how we're seeing Herbert in year two and what last year obviously meant for him, Tua year two. What do you think is going on with the Bears' decision-making?
So there's a part of me that want to speculate, like I know, because I played, but I'm not in their locker room, Rich. But here's what I do know, because we saw this. He has to understand hey, Matt Nagy, I know you're probably being coy about it, but you're a liar when it comes to this stuff because you told us Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky. You did this before. Do people not understand? We saw this just last year with Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky. He's done this before, and he stood at the podium and said the exact same thing. And now we have two different quarterbacks, and he's doing the exact same thing. At some point in time, somebody got to say, you're lying. Now what? Now, either you don't know who can run your offense best, or you can't run an offense that's best for a quarterback that you have. That's how I look at it, Rich. The kid feels when he is on the field, the team looks dynamic. Yeah. Everybody, it's like they stand up a little taller. It's just a different dynamic. And if he can't see that as a head coach and a play caller, he's in trouble.
Well, but that's why I'm asking, what do you think it is? And that's why you gave the caveat of you're not there, right? So what do you think it could possibly be, that he has shown some sort of inability to protect himself because he's not seeing the field well enough, or what do you think it is?
Here's what was said. I'm listening to Collinsworth talk. Mm-hmm. And here's what Collinsworth said, because Chris don't ask all the good questions. And here's what he alluded to. Now, the one thing that Andy Dalton did was their offense. So the Bears' offensive line is not that good. So what he's doing is it's a lot of quick games.
Yep.
And you have to be, in order to run quick game consistently, and be good at it, you have to be a little seasoned. Your pre-snap read's got to be on, and you got to know where you're going with the ball. And Andy did a pretty good job at that. He got the ball out of his hands fast. But as you continue to play, you got to stand in there and make throws. Or you have to be dynamic and buy some time and get out of the pocket. And Andy doesn't bring that to the table. Chris Collinsworth said that in the preseason, Justin Fields held the ball the longest than any quarterback. And he only got that information from the coaches for him to go watch that. Because Chris ain't watching that much preseason football. I understand it's his first game. So this had to come from Nagy then, that he's struggling with the quick game, processing things, getting the ball out of his hands quicker. So guess what we do? We line up. We run a little play action. We do the things that he's good at, not the things that you're good, not the plays that you're good at calling. You run the plays that he's good at running. And this is the problem that I see with Nagy. He wants to run an offense that doesn't suit his best players. That's going to always get you fired.
Especially since if you've got a play action, well, they don't have that great of a running back. Hold on a minute. They actually do. I mean, that kid, Montgomery, is really good. So, I mean, what gives?
Think about this, Rich. Let me just put this in. You're running the ball down the Rams' throat.
Yeah.
Which means you should be running play action. But when they pass, they're going quick game. No play action, just quick game, and they're running the ball well. That don't match up.
Marshall Faulk here on the Rich Eisen Show, as always, making us smarter. All right, now I'm going to go wide macro. Is there a week one result where I mentioned the cheese? That's the phrase of taking the cheese. Like, it's out there for you to just to take and then walk into the trap, and then you're shown to be a total fugazi. Is there a week one result that we should not believe? Either way, like the Bills losing, don't believe it, or a team winning and it's just like, yeah, I still need to see more. Is there anything from week one on that front for you, Marshall?
Week one, the cheese that I would not take, and here's the thing, and I'm hard on the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. I'm hard.
Yes.
I've heard Michael Irvin, like, they're finding a victory in the loss.
The silver star lining. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just like, I get it. Listen, Dak looked, when Dak was playing well before he got hurt, This is what he looked like.
Right.
And here's my problem that I have. Tampa Bay decided Ezekiel Elliott can beat us. We won't let him. Dak, can you beat us? Throw for 5,000 yards. Can you beat us?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they said. That's literally what they said. And until we see that awesome receiving core and, Dak do his thing, consistently, nobody's going to let Zeke run the ball because they know that's the Dallas Cowboys recipe to winning. And they're not going to let him cook with the right ingredients. If Zeke going to have to make a gourmet meal with whatever he has. And they will not let this offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott win ball games for Dallas. So it boils down to Dak and what can he do with what they're going to give him. They play one safety high, they 8-man box. They played the receivers a lot of man. Beat me. That's what they said. So I want to see what takes place. You know, with Kellen Moore and this offense and Dak. I want to see because it's going to be a rough year for Ezekiel Elliott if the passing game can't win games for Dallas.
So then, what can you share? What you're telling Zeke behind the scenes? Because I know you're tight with him, sharing
play
agent.
Hard, man.
So what do you say?
Play hard. Play. This thing is you can't win games without having the passing. This league is too fast, too strong. Mm-hmm. They're not going to just allow him to just carry his team on his back. It doesn't go like that. And here's the thing: it's not like he's playing with some inexperienced quarterback or some they're not that young at wide receiver. It's this is I see the silver lining, Rich. It's just like I want to see what happens. I just want to see what happens. I understand they didn't have Zach Martin. That's a huge loss. Huge loss. He's a space creator, and hopefully it was that. But the game plan that I saw, hey, Dak throw it 68 times, throw it 78 times. They don't think that can beat them.
Well, this week and the Cowboys are going to see a pretty stout front seven again, with a grown-ass man and Derwin James behind it. That is a Chargers are a good team, don't you think, Marshall?
You're going to see the same thing. Rich, right? You're literally going to see a lot of the same thing. They're going to say you have to beat us throwing the football. You're not just running Zeke. That's not happening.
So I assume you had similar situations thrown your way in your career, in your Hall of Fame career. Yeah. So what do you do? Yeah. Zeke has got to. There's going to be some times you'd have to think he's going to be frustrated. Just breaking the huddle and going again. Really? Okay, again.
Lot of frustrated. And here's the thing: they go to the line of scrimmage with a run play call with a pass play.
Yep.
Based on how the defensive line or if the next man in the box, they're going to be throwing the ball. You don't run plays uphill. You make sure. That's why you have to maximize every opportunity that you have the ball. And there's not many plays in the league it's not a run pass option. There's just about every play is a run pass option, unless it's a short yardage or goal line play, and they call it, run it, and that's it. They don't have that many of those plays.
What do you counsel? Last one for you, Marshall Faulk. How do you counsel somebody who's your audio executive who doesn't like it when he checks in with the radio station network that syndicates your show? And he wants to say hello to the guy, and the guy's kind of gruff, and he's doing business on the other end. And you look over, and you see your audio executive and Mike Del Tufo, and you can see he's deflated before the show. And how do you handle that situation, Marshall? I asked someone, that I respect you and emulate you in the way that I need to know how everything operates in my offense. So how do you think I should handle that, Marshall?
Oh man, that's a tough one, man. Here's the thing, Rich. Yes. I don't think I'm the best guy to be making this decision because I am emotionally invested in the relationship with Mike Del Tufo as
well. Mike, do you want to say hi to Marshall? I know you've been bursting at the seams this entire time.
I'll talk to Marshall after the call. I usually talk after.
Oh, my God.
Usually chat after.
A long kiss goodbye.
Yeah.
It's a Jewish goodbye from my Italian.
Marshall. It's awesome to chat with Marshall, man. I love Marshall.
I know. All right, Marshall.
That's my guy, man.
I miss you, Marshall. I miss you too. Let's do this more often. I'll do this as long as you want to.
Let me know when. Anytime you call me out of the bullpen, I'll be ready.
I told you that was his text last night. I'm like, can you do first up tomorrow? He's like Wild Thing. Bring me out of the bullpen. you make my heart sing, Marshall. Thank you for the call, brother. Take care.
Right on.
All right, love you, Marshall. That's Marshall Faulk, everybody.
Wild Thing.
Boy, does he know his football or what? Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.